In North Carolina, there's a new kind of war being fought. It's not on a traditional battlefield, it's digital. And the battleground? Well, it's data. As we're about to see, the stakes for the state's security have never, ever been higher.
Let me just start with this number, 6.68 million. Now that is not just some random statistic. According to the North Carolina Department of Justice, that's the number of people in the state, we're talking your neighbors, maybe your family, your colleagues, who were affected by data breaches in 2024, alone.
And when you look at this chart, you realize this isn't just a bad year. Not at all. This is a rising tide. It's a relentless wave of cyber attacks that has been building for almost 20 years and is now picking up speed at a really frightening pace.
So let's really dig in here. Just how big is this threat? Well, to put it simply, it's a record-breaking challenge, and the numbers, they're pretty staggering.
Okay, think about this for a second. Back in 2006, there were just 75 reported breaches. Fast forward to 2024, and that number has skyrocketed to over 2,200. That is a 2,900% increase. It just shows you how completely the landscape has shifted.
So what does all this mean for you and me? Well, first, this isn't just an IT problem anymore. It's systemic. It's in every part of our lives. It's also become deeply personal, going after the digital identities of millions. And maybe the most alarming part? The attacks are not only happening more often, but they're getting way more sophisticated.
So you have to ask, what's driving this crazy explosion in cybercrime? Well, a huge part of the answer is a powerful new tool in the hands of attackers, artificial intelligence. It has become an absolutely formidable offensive weapon.
This quote from Europol just hits the nail on the head. AI is basically a force multiplier for criminals. It makes these really complex attacks easier to pull off, much harder to spot, and lets them hit targets on a scale that was pretty much unimaginable just a few years ago. Hey, remember when you could spot a phishing email because of the bad grammar or just the weird phrasing? Yeah, those days are long gone. We are now in the era of perfect phishing. AI can analyze a bunch of stolen emails and then write brand new messages that are totally context-aware, have zero errors, and perfectly copy the writing style of your boss or a supplier you trust. It is deception on a whole new level.
3 seconds. That's it. That's all the audio an AI needs to completely clone a person's voice. I mean, just imagine getting a call from your boss. Sounds exactly like them, and they're urgently asking you to wire some money. This isn't science fiction, folks. This is happening right now, and it's costing companies millions. And the threat goes even deeper than that. Attackers are now using AI to create something called polymorphic malware. The easiest way to think about it is like a virus that changes its disguise, its digital fingerprint, every single time it jumps to a new computer. This makes it almost impossible for traditional antivirus software to even see it coming.
But the biggest threat isn't always the loud, direct assault. Sometimes it's a quiet little infiltration through someone you trust, what the experts call the backdoor problem. So here's the fundamental vulnerability. State agencies, schools, hospitals, they all depend on softwares from outside vendors. Now, if an attacker can breach just one of those vendors, they basically get a master key that can unlock the doors to hundreds of government clients all at once.
And this brings us to a tale of two very different breaches. On one hand, you have the catastrophic failure at PowerSchool, which exposed the data of millions. But then you've got the story of the NC State Bar. When they got hit with ransomware, the response was so fast it stopped the attack cold. No ransom paid and barely any disruption. It's such a powerful lesson that being prepared is absolutely everything. So how in the world does North Carolina fight back against AI-powered attacks? Well, it turns out you fight fire with fire. The state is now using AI not as a threat, but as its most powerful defensive weapon.
This right here is the new mindset. See, AI isn't optional anymore in cybersecurity. It's a critical piece of the modern defensive toolkit. It's all about turning the tables on the attackers. Defensive AI gives you two massive advantages. First, its automated detection literally never sleeps. It analyzes network traffic at a speed no human team could ever hope to match. And second, when it does find a threat, its response is instant. It can isolate a machine or block an attacker to stop a breach before it even gets started. Now, the great thing is North Carolina isn't trying to do this in a bunch of separate silos. The state has what it calls a whole-of-state defense, which connects every level of government. And at the heart of this are hubs like the NC Information Sharing and Analysis Center, or NC-ISAC, and the Joint Cybersecurity Task Force for that critical, on-the-ground response.
And this whole coordinated defense is backed up by some seriously tough legislation. 2 laws in particular form the backbone of this strategy. First, mandatory 24-hour reporting of any major incident, which makes sure the response is fast. And second, a strict ban on paying ransoms. This rule's so crucial because it takes away the very reason these attackers do what they do, the money.
So, when you take all of this, the threats, the defenses, it all brings us to the path forward. How does North Carolina keep building a digital future that's both secure and resilient?
It really comes down to a clear 4-part strategy. First, mandate strong security for every single vendor. Second, regularly audit that supply chain. Third, take the State Bar's successful backup model and expand it to all agencies. And finally, keep investing in well-trained rapid response teams. Which, of course, leaves us with the central question of our time, really. In this high-stakes technological arms race between AI attacks and AI defense, who's actually winning? Well, the truth is, the answer to that question changes every single day. For North Carolina, just staying ahead isn't just a technical problem, it's absolutely essential for protecting its people and its future. The battle is far, far from over.